Hello, and welcome to another Tristan Has Thoughts Destiny 2 discussion. Today, I want to talk about Gambit, or the lack of communication on Gambit. As many of you are likely aware by now, Gambit is seemingly going to be unchanged in any meaningful way in Lightfall's year of content. Gambit was completely missing from Joe Blackman's State of the Game, and we've had no communication on it since Witch Queen's relaunch of it. I want to take some time today to share why I think it's such a shame that Gambit is being treated this way. Many people have a love-hate relationship with Gambit, but seeing a supposed core playlist so underdeveloped is frustrating and worrying. A quick reminder that if you enjoy this kind of content to subscribe, as I upload content just like this daily, and we just passed 100 subscribers. Thank you so much. I think a lot of people forget how exciting Gambit's launch was. For me, Gambit was a huge point of excitement leading up to Forsaken's launch. For years, I had dreamed of a mode where they could mesh PvE and PvP. It was an ambitious undertaking from Bungie. I have extremely fond memories of Gambit in its Forsaken era launch, and remember spending nearly a whole day playing when the Malfeasance quest finally went live. Fast forward 6 months, and Gambit would already see an overhaul, Gambit Prime. I understand not everyone loved Gambit, and a season focused mainly around it was a hard pill to swallow, but I respect a lot of the risks taken in that season. I think the shakeup of the base normal mode into Prime was neat, and the armor, if ever balanced and worked on outside of the season, could have been fantastic. Unfortunately, as usual, Bungie simply created Prime and its armor sets only to ignore them going forward. Fast forward to Beyond Light, where Gambit Prime is removed, along with the armor sets being sunset, and we are thrust back into normal Gambit. Only this time we have fewer maps than usual and less incentive to play the mode. Beyond Light's year saw very few changes to Gambit and left the mode feeling abandoned. Moving forward to Witch Queen, we would see Gambit reshuffled into what it is today, an amalgamation of base Gambit melded with aspects of Prime and flooded with special and heavy ammunition. The Drifter finally received his reward track upgrade, but even this has done little to invigorate the mode. Gambit is supposed to be a core playlist. While I understand that all the core playlists have lacked any true meaningful updates thus far, Gambit by far feels the worst. It's rarely ever addressed by the developers, and worse, is simply forgotten by them. Bungie tried to experiment with Gambit Labs for about 2 weeks, and then it was never seen again. Witch Queen's update to Gambit created a slew of new problems, none of which have been addressed. Gambit has also suffered under heavy skill-based matchmaking for a while now, and it makes playing the mode almost insufferable if you fall into these upper brackets. We've not had a new map since 2019, and rather instead have lost maps since Beyond Light. It's almost as if Season of the Drifter single-handedly killed Bungie's desire to experiment with Gambit, and I think that's such a shame. I dare say Bungie's lack of communication and acknowledgement of Gambit is worrying. A core playlist that is so devoid of investment and time doesn't sound very core to me. And it sounds more like content that could enter the DCV. Wouldn't it be such a shame, though, for Gambit to die a slow, painful death only to be vaulted before serious effort is put into it? Why can't we have new modes developed for Gambit like Crucible Labs? Why can't some of the older maps be worked on and unvaulted so at least we are not playing on the same map for 3 years straight? Why can Bungie seemingly not put an hour's work into the balancing and pacing of Gambit? Bungie has cut up and butchered the Gambit experience to the point where it's barely distinguishable. Do I want hundreds of hours of development time put into Gambit and taken away from seasonal content? Of course not. What I want them to acknowledge is the poor state of the playlist and its lack of support, and either double down on that course or let us know what's coming in the pipeline. Gambit is deserving of some love, and if they don't have the manpower to even give a crumb to this core playlist, maybe it shouldn't exist. As usual, be sure to let me know your thoughts. Do you think Gambit should be given updates similar to that of the Crucible? Or do you think Gambit should be left as it is until the end of Destiny 2? Please remain respectful in the comments section, and I will respond to any discussions that I see. As usual, a subscription is greatly appreciated, and for each like this video gets, a capybara gets a big scritch.